Hello and welcome back to the fourth video of this series, OpenGL on the Raspberry Pi. And today we're going to be doing scene rotation. So basically we're going to be doing how to rotate the scene so it looks like you are rotating the camera. There isn't actually a camera, but don't worry about it. This is sort of like a crucial moment in OpenGL. How do you rotate the scene, enable you to draw shapes rotated or the scene rotated, and stuff like that, and how do you return back to center in order to draw more. And this is actually fairly easy, and today we are going to feature a new callback function, the special key callback function. This will allow you to do things like escape, arrow keys, home, up, end, shift, that sort of thing, and we'll get right started. So if you go down here, we will add in a new callback function, glut special func, and then we need a function pointer. So this will be key special pressed. So key normal pressed, key special pressed. Okay, now copy that. Let us add it in here. Void key special pressed. And like key normal pressed, this will take 3 parameters. This will take your key and X and Y of the mouse when you press the key. But unlike the normal key press, which is an ASCII key code, which is a unsigned char, this is an integer. So it will be int key. And then you do int X, int Y. Okay, and then let's do a switch statement again. Switch key. Okay, we want to move the camera, we want to move the scene around, and I think we should use the arrow keys. So let's set up the boilerplate for that. Case glut key left, break, and let's copy and paste that. Left, right, up, down. Okay, and then of course do your default. Let us build, see if this works. Yes, of course I'm pressing the arrow keys, nothing is happening because, well, nothing else is there in the code. Okay, now let us set up rotation. Now rotation can take forms in many ways. You can do Euler rotation, you can do quaternion rotation. Right now we'll do Euler rotation. Perhaps later we'll need to do quaternions. That's a whole other thing. That's vectors with rotation around the vector. That's a very exact thing, but we won't get that. We're just pointing the camera. We're pointing the camera. We're rotating the scene around. So right now we don't quite need quaternions. So that means we'll need 3 angles. We will need X, Y, and Z rotation. So there's X rotation, Y rotation, and Z rotation. And, let's make this global. I'm sure, like, if you really want, you can do parameters, pass-in pointers, all that stuff, but there's no real need for something like this. We're just doing it quick and dirty. So let's do float, because the angles are floats. Scene, X angle, and Y angle, and Z angle. Let's all set those initially to 0F. Okay. Now, let us go down here to the key press function. And let us do a ternary statement to move the camera. So let's do this. Let's say scene X angle equals 360 F. Left and right will be the X. Will be the X rotation. If it is 360, then set it back to 0. So scene X angle equals 0.0f. If not, then increment sin x angle. Sin x angle equals sin x angle plus 1.0f. Boom. That is the boilerplate. Now let's go down the right, and this will be the opposite. If it is 0, then set it to 360, and if not, then decrement. Okay, and then key up. This will be Y. Yes, and then it's the same code as the first one. So if it is 360, set it to 0. If not, then increment. And then key down. Let us do this one. Sin Y angle. If you have some trouble trying to figure out why this is the case, just take a quick look through it. It should be fairly straightforward. Now that we have the key code, let us go up to the draw function and rotate the scene. So rotation for the scene happens before the GL translate, because the GL translate is us moving to the place to draw the square. So what's happening is, before anything is drawn, or first we clear the screen, right? We're at 0, 0, 0. We clear the screen. We rotate the scene to where we want the square to be drawn, draw the square, and then rotate back with that GL identity. That's what's going to happen. So we're going to rotate, GL rotate F. And this function will take 4 parameters. The first one is the angle. So we're going to do sin x angle. Then you give it a vector about which to rotate. A vector in Euler space. So 0, 1, 0 is the x-axis. If I said 1, 1, 0, it would rotate both on the y and the x-axis. We just want to do 1. Then we do the y-axis, rotate on the y-axis, so that's 1, 0, 0. And then we do the z-axis, which is 0, 0, 1. And then there, z angle. And so basically we clear the screen, we rotate to meet our drawing location, we draw our square, we reset back to the origin, and then draw. Let's see what happens. I'm clicking, and now I am pressing left, I'm pressing right, I'm pressing up, and I'm pressing down, but nothing is happening. Why is that? It's because OpenGL doesn't actually know what to do with our key presses. It doesn't know how to update them. We need an idle function callback. So what we need to do is go back to the main code, back here, and add a glut idlefunc. And idlefunc, you usually just call the display function again. Basically, whenever there is nothing going on, the idlefunc will keep watch over updating variables, updating key presses, things like that, and then pass them to the display function. Let's try building and running again. Focus the window. Look at that. I'm pressing left, I'm pressing right, I'm pressing up, and I'm pressing down. And if you notice, it looks like, well, there's a fisheye lens, and that's because there kind of is a fisheye lens. It's because we are rotating the scene around us, and it gets projected to a flat 2D space. In fact, if I full screen this, you'll get a much better view of this. Look at that. and that code was not very hard to do. And this is how you rotate the scene or camera in OpenGL. Next video we're going to do is we're going to be drawing multiple shapes, maybe multiple kinds of shapes, and maybe in multiple orientations and stuff like that, just to show you what we can do. And after that, we might move on to shaders or something like that. Okay, and that's all this video is, and I will see you in the next one.